AOC, Bernie Sanders, Abdul El-Sayed, they're raising money as hard as they can and as fast as they can. And they're not raising it through the Democratic National Committee because they're very broken in debt. Instead, they are raising it through ActBlue. Now, we've covered ActBlue here on the show before. It is an online funding platform where you, apparently from anywhere around the globe, can give money to Democrats in the United States, and then ActBlue takes that money and then doles it out as they see fit. They are currently under a congressional investigation because ActBlue allegedly took lots of money from foreign funders and did not check whether or not those donors were foreign before they took the money. It just kind of, slipped their mind, whoops. Oh, totally just an accident, just a mistake. I love it so much. Radio crew, welcome back from the commercial break. Their money machine is at it again. AOC, Bernie Sanders, and Abdul El-Sayed are raising as much as they can right now through ActBlue in the middle of this congressional investigation. So now there is a viral video showing an 88-year-old woman, I believe, disputing nearly $150,000 in political donations that were recorded in her name. This is obviously fueling a lot of fresh alarm over the Democrat nonsense because this lady is living in squalor, but apparently she's 150,000 super duper mega donor.
Well, here we are out in the deep, thick country of Michigan looking for one Elizabeth Waffle.
Now, to be clear, I this is just going to be a small Midwestern gripe. I don't really care for like the Deliverance banjo riff in the background coming from the hillbilly hick part of the Midwest myself. But anywho, other than Dueling Banjos, which is a phenomenal song.
88 years old, donated nearly $150,000 in the last 5 years to Democratic causes. This is one of El-Sayed's micro donors. Doesn't look like the Taj Mahal by any means. Come along. Where's the house? Okay, if I'm not back in 5 minutes, call somebody.
Okay, so a little bit of the dramatic, independent journalism stuff here.
Hi, madam.
Okay.
Pleasure. My name's Charlie. Are you Elizabeth Waffle?
Yeah.
It says here that you've donated $150,000 in the last 5 years to various campaigns, and that you've made nearly 15,000 donations.
I doubt it.
You want to?
Now, this was about I believe this is about a month old. The reason that I'm sharing this with you now is there are now a couple of federal looky-loos that are starting to dig through some of ActBlue's records based on essentially finding these individuals. And this is probably the most famous ones, why we're showing it to you. There are now 2 other cases, one in Pennsylvania and one in Nevada, in which other individuals have been claimed to have donated all of this amount of money to ActBlue through, these direct donation periods over the last 5 to 10 years. And it just so happens that these individuals have no recollection. They have no actual financial receipts for any of this kind of data. Now the congressional committees are starting to look through it. And if the congressional committees are starting to look through it, you say, what does that mean? Just going to be an angry letter? If the congressional record shows a certain committee that is looking through something, this gives Attorney General Todd Blanche a good amount of window to start digging into these cases. And if the Attorney General starts digging into some of these cases, you could theoretically get a federal injunction on ActBlue being allowed to transfer money in or out over the next couple of months, which would be a death knell for Democrats in this particular election cycle. That's where this is going. That's the real catch here. Because over the last couple of years, and by the way, the comment section has pointed it out absolutely correctly, some of these videos have been going on for years. But where does the rubber actually meet the road here? Well, either one of 2 things can happen, and it's incumbent on the Department of Justice and the federal attorneys to make these cases. Now, number 1, you can either have a federal judge say that there is an issue with voter and donor registration through the Federal Election Commission, suggesting that these are individuals that have been signed up to vote, and perhaps there is another person of this first and last name in another part of the state, and the address just got wrong. Just a simple issue of reporting. If that's true, then there might be a necessity to halt everything for a moment in an injunction until the reporting information is deemed accurate for out of district, out of state, or out of country voting concerns. Number two, you can suggest that there is a case of wire fraud or campaign finance, certain kinds of violations of campaign finance law, and ActBlue can be hit with some kind of an injunction to cease operation until an investigation is concluded. Has this happened before? Yeah, like several times in the last 30 years, you have seen a federal government investigation shut down a major operation, including in the middle of election season. Sometimes to some considerable controversy because money was flowing in and out in a way that just didn't look quite right. And yes, by the way, some of the questions as to whether or not these are certain kinds of identity theft, and we'll see if some of these cases are willing to be brought.